What up, Torin? You
What's
already
that?
cracked? Ready to go?
Already cracked. Got started early.
That's what I like to hear. Well,
Oh
it
yeah.
is Thursday, August 17th. We are days away from match week 2 in the Premier League. Season's off and running, baby. Let's go. So, we're going to do our
Mm-hmm.
picks later for the matches. We're also going to pick some real and fake bets that we're going to go after. But first, let's do news. News is flying in because the transfer window is still open.
It's constant.
It's wild right now. It's a wild time. And they threw in the Super Cup
I
in the middle
know.
of the week. I totally forgot about
I
it.
was. I know. I was looking at on YouTube after work one day, and I was like, "Oh crap! There's a game. Let's go." This is great.
So Man City played Sevilla in the Super Cup, and I, like you, totally forgot about it, but saw the highlights, and it
Mm-hmm.
looked like a good match. Obviously, no De Bruyne,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but Sevilla showed up to
But
play, and yeah, what you
yeah,
think?
they played some strong squads. I was expected maybe to be a few more backups in there, but they came out ready to play. It was an exciting game. I thought it was a perfect game to start the season. Back and forth. I think it's always an opportunity for a lesser team like Sevilla. They're always going to take the opportunity, right, to try to play up to the skill level that they're going up against. And I think they really showed up. They had some chances to actually win it, and they let it slip through their fingers. But definitely an exciting game.
Well, Man City had to climb back into the match. They were down 1-0, got a
They
late
did,
second
yeah,
half goal to tie it up, and then won on penalties. But the only thing that I
yeah.
take away from it, I'm sure it wasn't like it was a competitive match. Everyone was playing hard, but again, for as good as Man City are, without Kevin De Bruyne and without Gundogan, at
Hmm.
least at this point, it's difficult for them to create chances. Haaland
Yeah,
didn't have a lot of chances, and it's not like they're bad. They're still an elite team, arguably still one of the best in the world.
yep,
But with De Bruyne, they seemed invincible, you know? And
yeah. They're
now they're
they're
not.
so yeah. So they're so solid. Taking De Bruyne out of the equation, look at a position, and they're as solid as it gets. And but they're missing that sort of that linking creativeness through midfield into attack, and you can just sense it. And Gundogan was just that's why I think I brought it up when we were talking about the preseason picks. I was like, I think he's a huge loss. Maybe I didn't say those words specifically, but knowing that at some point De Bruyne is probably going to be out,
Yeah.
he's a great guy to have fill in, right? So like you said, having both of those guys no longer in there, they definitely seem to show a weakness there. But yeah, they still found a way. Penalties are always nerve wracking and exciting to watch. It seemed like nobody could miss,
Yeah, they
which
were all
is
really good penalties.
they were really good. Just like the goal, like there, I feel like there was only one penalty that the goalie had a shot at, and he could have saved it, and he didn't. But I think that was Kyle Walker's. Um, but yeah, that's the way you want it to go, right? You don't want a bunch of misses. You want everyone being on it and it coming down to
Yeah.
just hitting a post or something like that. So
I thought
yeah,
Rakitic
better
looked
luck next time,
nervous.
Sevilla.
I thought Rakitic was
What's
going to
that?
miss. I thought Rakitic looked nervous walking up there.
Yeah, you
And he
thought
did
so?
the slow stuff. I hate the slow run up to the
Yeah,
ball. But he still hit it perfect and scored. It's cool to see
yeah.
Rakitic play. He's been a favorite of mine for a while.
I love the Howland. Just that full speed power. It's just I don't know. There's something about that approach to me. It's like yeah, you're not maybe. It's not a penalty you take if you're like I think the goal is going to get to this, but it just gives off so much confidence. I feel like to see somebody doing that.
And
So
he's
that's the
fast.
style I
So
like.
yeah, the keeper has to make a decision quickly because he's so
Quick.
explosive. Yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely like him. Frank Lampard, I always liked the way he took penalty kicks, where it
Hmm.
was always just blasted into the corner or down the middle. And
Hmm.
yeah, so good win for Man City. We'll see how they do without De Bruyne if it keeps going. But
Yep. Already got a trophy.
to transition into the news and transfer rumors, it is good news for them that Bernardo Silva has signed a verbal agreement to stay at Man City. So it sounds like it's probably a
Yeah.
done deal, but we've said that a couple of times this transfer window. It's backfired. Um, but this one sounds like it's probably going to be real. And
Yeah.
for Man City's sake, they really need him.
Yeah, you need this. Yeah, I mean, we saw it. He is one of those guys that can create on his own, right? He doesn't need somebody like De Bruyne or somebody in the middle to create for him. So he's going to be absolutely vital for their team this year for the first half of this season. I mean, they need to be putting all their energy into making sure this verbal agreement becomes a signed agreement ASAP before he's gone. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, smart business if they keep him.
Yeah. And speaking of De Bruyne, the news came out that he's officially out for 3 to 4 months, which we kind of suspected.
Yeah, yeah.
You hate
With
to
or
see
without
it.
surgery, there's just no way he wasn't going to be out that long. But he is choosing to go the surgery route, which I think is good. You know, if you've had sustained injuries there, there's got to be something wrong internally. So go take care of it. Take as long as you need to recover. That's the only option right now. So I'm happy he's doing that, but obviously huge blow, and it sucks to know we're not going to be able to see him
And at
for
31
for
years
about half the
old,
season.
he's still young, but in soccer years, that's on the second half of his career. So
Yeah,
hopefully, this isn't detrimental to his play on the field. That's all we can hope for right now.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Uh,
sure we'll find out more.
this next bit of news, Olise, we thought was going to go to Chelsea. They got the release
Yeah,
clause,
we thought it was a done deal.
and then whoopsie, just signed a 4-year contract with Crystal Palace. Let's go. Let's go. I was devastated when I heard he was going to go to Chelsea. And
Yeah,
so I'm stoked to see him uh, back at Crystal Palace because we both picked him for our top
yeah,
5 uh, midfielders this season.
yeah.
So that wasn't going to happen at Chelsea, if you ask me.
Definitely not. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm just as excited as you. Obviously, the opportunity to go to a big team, childhood dream, that type of stuff. I get it, but you're actually going to play at Crystal Palace, man, and you're not only going to play, you are going to be the centerpiece of that team. So I feel like you're still young, you're still developing. This is the perfect setup for you. You know, you're on a team that isn't just competing for in the relegation tier. You know, they have some players they could compete to be, you know, near the middle of the table possibly, right? So it's not like you're signing up for some team that's just going to go straight down. I think it's the perfect place to be to build more experience, build your value, and then, you know, contracts up, you're ready to move on to another team a few years from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy for him that he's doing it, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to be able to actually see him play and shine.
Yeah, I think he's going to thrive there. So good news. And then we saw this Liverpool sign Wataru Endo, Japanese defensive midfielder from Stuttgart. Right? Was that right? Yeah, Stuttgart.
I know it's Stuttgart. I didn't know his position. Yeah.
He's a defensive midfielder. So here's a little education on
Yeah,
Wataru Endo.
enlighten me because I'm coming in the dark here.
I didn't know anything about him, so I did a touch of research. He's Japanese midfielder. He's actually 30 years old, so he's been around a little bit.
Experience. Okay.
He's experienced. He was the captain of Stuttgart. He is also the captain of the Japanese national team. So
All right.
sounds like a leader. Sounds like a
Mm-hmm.
strong player. He was 4th in the league in tackles last year. The article I read the season wasn't completely over, but it was close. So he's top of the league in tackles in the Bundesliga. We talked about his leadership. He's been they talked about his passing being really really good for out of the back. He was top of the league in passing percentage, which kind of happens in
Okay.
that position. But sounds like a real solid player. He's played a little bit of center back in his career as well. So I think this is definitely the position that Liverpool needed,
Yeah.
but we'll see how he fits into the Premier League life.
Exactly. I mean, there's no way to frame it in any other way than this was a total backup plan from Liverpool after everyone else they really wanted fell through. So it's hard to frame it in any other light. But for somebody that you're pointing as a backup plan, I feel like you couldn't really choose a better resume, right? Somebody that has experience, has captained a team, has led a big team in another country, is a captain of his national team, right? For everything you just listed out, for being the fourth or fifth guy on the list to bring in, that's a pretty good guy still to bring in. So I think they made the best of a tough situation on their end.
Yeah, good call. Because if you're not going to get the young up and comer, you may as well
Mm-hmm.
get an adult in the room who
Yeah.
knows how to play, knows how to work with others, and is experienced.
Yeah, and
So
it's still 30, it's not like he's 32, 34 coming in, right?
right.
He's still got it. So, yeah, I think it's a smart move, and it's got to be awesome for him to make a move like that to a huge club.
Oh,
It's got to
no
be
doubt.
really exciting.
No doubt. Up next, Theo Walcott retired.
It says he's set to retire. So he played last year on Southampton. Supposedly he hasn't signed with the team, and I guess there's not a lot of interest. So that's the most recent news as of today. It's not a done deal, so this is probably, we would put this in the rumor category, but it's looking like this could be it for him. So I just wanted to shout that out because this is officially one of those bits of news that makes me feel old. I remember him coming in at 17 or whatever when he first came in, and everyone was just so high on him, and he was the future. And now to see that it's actually at the tail end, you go, damn. We're
You
getting old,
remember
man.
his entire career.
Yeah,
He's 34
basically.
years old, by the way. So
Yeah, so he's right there with us.
I
Yeah,
think he could still play. He
I
was
think
still
he could.
quick
That's
when
why
he
I don't want to
started.
say it's 100% done, but he would have to choose to play on a lower level team, I think, or go to the MLS or something.
Yeah, cash in on the
Um,
MLS or go to Luton Town.
yeah, he should. Yeah, don't go to Saudi. Come to the MLS.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, but that's about. Hey, it was a great career. Theo
Yeah,
Walcott, if you do decide to hang
yeah.
him up, cheers to you, dude.
Cheers. Dude, to last as long as you lasted at the highest level, the highest league. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's as successful as a career can be. So you did it all, man.
that's awesome. Um, okay, so that's it. We don't have full news because there's only been 2 days, so I'm sure there'll be tons of
Yeah,
news next week. Oh, you got one more. Hit me with
yeah. I
it.
got a couple more bits of news. So yeah. So first off, this is also in the rumor category. This is not a done deal whatsoever, but news has come out that Fulham is aggressively going after Balogun drink from Arsenal. But supposedly there's still a big gap between the teams on how much the deal should be worth. But something that I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping for. Mitrovic on his way out, probably. Uh,
He must be if
Obviously
they're going
Jimenez is
after
there.
him.
What's that?
He has to be out if they already have Jimenez and they're still
Oh,
looking
for
at
sure.
Balogun.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like it's a great situation to go to for him. He's going to get to play at the highest level against some of the best players in the world. It's just, we need it to happen. So I hope the more we talk about it, the more it actually comes true.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And then the last bit of news that I thought was a good little bow tie to the end of this segment is Harry Kane, in his move to Germany, has also signed another contract. This contract is a lifetime deal to be the frontman for Skechers, including the unveiling of their brand new cleats, which I guess
Oh,
he's
they're
going to be
stepping into the
wearing
cleat game. Are they going to be
into
shape
the
ups?
cleat game. I don't know, man. We'll see. But him and who was the shape ups guy? Was that Joe Montana? I think it
Yeah, it
was Joe
was. Yeah, I
Montana.
think it was. Yeah, but Joe Montana at 60, not Joe Montana in his prime,
Yeah,
like still playing.
exactly. So I think it's hilarious. And the post that I saw, the top comment was like something along the lines of, "This is as Harry Kane as it gets." It was just, what else? What other brand would he choose besides Skechers? It's great.
Skechers. Oh my God, is Skechers popular in the UK? You think, or it can't be,
I have
right?
no idea. I,
'Cause
I couldn't believe I couldn't. I wouldn't think they are, but who
Well,
knows? I
they're not
mean,
popular here. They're popular in like the
they're definitely on the come up, though. I know more and more people that have gotten Skechers for various reasons, like people maybe for like work shoes and stuff, you know. But moving to the cleat game was is a surprise, I would say. I wasn't expecting that one.
I can say that I don't know anyone under the age of 55 that owns Skechers. That's that's how I view Skechers. And to think that they're gonna come out with a cleat, I'm really excited. I want to see this thing. I feel like it's gonna be hideous, just
I know.
absolutely hideous.
I want to find the picture. I did actually find the picture. It gave the name. They're like the SX01s or something. They're called. I don't know,
Oh, sounds
but
badass.
yeah, they're giving it their best shot. So we'll see. That reminds me, we should at some point. We haven't done this yet, in all the times we've talked, but at some point we should go through a list, our favorite list of cleats.
Ooh,
That
I
would be
like this.
a fun segment to do, right? We could go old school, new school, whatever it is, right? We
Yeah,
could talk through, make a
they
top
always
10
show
list.
the. I always come across the old school posts that are like the old like total 90s and stuff.
Remember these?
Yeah, it'll be like the
Yeah,
Predators and like all bunch of like
yeah,
old retro
yeah.
shoes.
It'll
It'll be
be
like, which ones did you
like
have? And like,
yeah,
yeah,
or name this player, and I'll just show the cleat, and you're
yeah.
like, oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, it's a little different
Wayne
nowadays.
Rooney in the total 90s or
There's
whatever.
just so many options that there's less recognizable boots.
Yeah, true. So before we get into the preview for this week's games, I just had a couple things I was going to throw at you. Not really news in terms of transfers, but some things that came out of the weekend. So the first one, and this one shocked me, was a stat that I heard after the weekend. So here's the headline here. It says assistant referee Akil Housen was on the touchline in the Premier League at the weekend, making him the top flight's first black official in 15 years. And I was in shock when I read that. That means in the last 15 years, there hasn't been a single black fourth official, sideline ref, or center ref for 15 years. And I was just like in shock when I read that. I could not believe it. So I was curious to get your take on that because I feel like that's just not something that would happen in America. So it was kind of a total shock to the system.
Yeah, I never thought about it. The only refs I even recognize or notice are the main official.
Yeah,
But now that you mention it, yeah, the Premier League doesn't have any.
I know. And then I started going through, right, and you're like, wait, I guess I have never seen
And
a
come to
black
think of
ref.
it, I haven't seen one in any of the other leagues as well. I think I've seen one in World Cup because they usually do like different
Yeah,
region stuff. But
yeah, I've
yeah,
definitely seen them at internationals. Yeah,
that is interesting. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or it's just I don't know.
yeah. I just thought it was definitely very interesting being in America, right, where we see black refs all the time in all sports, whether baseball, football, whatever it is, right.
Hmm.
So it was definitely a unique thing. All right, the other bit of news I had is I got hold of a list here of all of the demands that Neymar requested for Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. So I just want to get your take after I read this list off. First item on the list: a house with 25 bedrooms, a 40 by 10-meter swimming pool, and 3 saunas.
Three.
Five full-time members of staff for the house. So that probably includes cooks, butler, or whatever, maids. He wanted a Bentley Continental GT, an Aston Martin DBX, and a Lamborghini Huracan. He requested a 24-hour driver any time of the day, any time of the week, all year long. All bills for hotels, restaurants, and services during his off days to be paid for by the club. A private plane at his disposal for all his travels. A 500,000 euro bonus for each social media post that he promotes Saudi Arabia in. And on top of all this, €100 million in salary per year.
Hey, I'm not a Neymar fan, but I got to give it to him here, man. I got to give it to him. You knew you had him by the balls, and you just went for it.
Mm-hmm.
And on the flip side of that, holy fuck! Like, how rich are these Saudi guys? Like, are you
That's
kidding me?
insane,
I
dude.
was like, yeah, sure,
Yeah, that's
let's do
like
it. We're not going to make this
that's
money back, but who cares? We have Neymar. That's how they look at it.
dude, that's it's like the perfect example of billionaire versus millionaire, right? So often we talk about rich guys and it's like, what would a millionaire care about? They wouldn't do that. But billionaires just don't care at all. Like they're like, whatever. I know money is unlimited, so
Exactly. It's like
it's
you think of
crazy.
Neymar being super rich. Oh, he's getting $100 million a year. Someone's paying him that, and they're paying all these other guys insane amounts. Like, it's just wild to
Exactly.
me.
And
God,
you know they're not making that much money off of the team or the league, you know, like they're trying to grow the league with that, but they're not making that much money back. It's
no,
just literally
no.
just all this money sunk.
This is
It's
sunk.
crazy.
It's sunk money unless they. And I'm telling you, unless they do a merger, like they did with the PGA. And you know
We'll
what?
see, man.
There's a few down and out leagues right now in Europe. I'll tell you that.
Hmm.
So, La Liga, I'm looking at you. Ligue 1,
Yeah,
you're a
I think those are
target.
the two big ones. I
Yeah,
think Serie A and Bundesliga are a little bit better off, but yeah, La Liga's in bad shape.
yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Crazy. Just crazy. But
Yeah.
good for Neymar. Hey, good for you, Neymar. You get
It just
yours.
it sounds like the perfect place for him. This is what he always wanted.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be the most important guy with the most money in the room.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be that technically there with the owners that are there, but in terms of all the other players and everyone else there, that's what he's going to be. He's going to be loving life. He's going to be, you know, where he's always wanted to be.
He's going to be so out of shape. It's going to be crazy.
That might make us tune in then.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get into our picks.
All right.
Okay, so match week 2, Premier League picks. You did really well last week. I
It did, yeah.
was
Second place.
close behind, but you definitely beat me out. So I'm ready this week to make up some ground.
Yeah, I feel like this week's tougher though. I mean, there's a lot more for that seems up in the air.
Tougher
So I think
matchups too, if you ask
it could
me.
be all over the place this week, I think.
I kind of went a little risky on my picks.
This is the week to do it. I should have. I feel like I didn't, but I feel like this is the right week to do that.
Well, let me just say I went a little risky on my picks, and I don't feel confident about it. I think this might backfire. So maybe
Okay.
you pick the right choices. Let's see.
We'll
Let's
see.
get
We'll
into it.
see.
First up, Nottingham Forest is hosting Sheffield. I'm drinking the Nottingham Kool-Aid. I'm going 2-0 Forest.
I went 2-1, so I'm right there with you on Nottingham.
That was probably my
Awesome place to
easiest one of the
play.
week.
Yeah, great fans. Awesome place to play. I felt like I was kind of surprised with Sheffield, so that's why I gave them a goal here last week. I
Yeah.
thought they played better than they would. I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams, and I feel like against a team like Nottingham, they would have an opportunity or two to score. But I like Nottingham at home against a lot of different teams. Their home court advantage is pretty awesome.
Absolutely. And I want my boy Alonga to start, and I hope a one is fit enough to start
Yeah.
because that's a game changer. All right, next match. Fulham is at home against Brentford. My head said to pick a tie. My heart made me pick Fulham to win. So I got
Okay.
Fulham winning 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
I went with the draw. I followed my brain. 2-2. So similar idea there where I think there'll be some open parts of the game, right? There'll be some scoring. Brentford still looked good, you know, better than we thought last week. So I know Fulham is at home. They're a good team, tough to play against, but this has draw written all over it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Okay, here we go. Liverpool at home for Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they looked all right last week, which made me think about giving them a shot. But then Liverpool, home debut, they don't stand a chance. 3-0 Liverpool for me.
I went 3-0 as well.
It's hard
Same
not to.
same
It's hard
score.
not to.
This is I believe this was the game last year that ended up 9-0 that ended up getting Scott, what was his name? Scott Parker fired. So 4 games into the season. So I see a repeat, but not quite as bad.
And then we had Luton Town. Burnley is postponed because Luton Town doesn't have a legitimate stadium. So we move on to
Yep.
Wolves at home for Brighton. This one was a tough one. This is the beginning of the tough matches for me because
Yeah.
Wolves looked really good against Man United. Should have won that game. The fact that they
Yeah.
lost is baffling. And then Brighton, they straight up dominated. A lesser opponent, but they looked really good too. So it's like, oh. And
Yeah.
Wolves are at home. I didn't know what to do. I went Wolves 1, Brighton 2.
Okay, I kind of copped out. All the things you said, I thought it's going to end up being even with the home field advantage, how well Wolves seem to play with Gary O'Neill in charge. They seem so much more cohesive and together. Just a much better team. So I went
Cunha
one
looking
one
like
one draw.
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Yeah, right. It's like, so it's hard after seeing what we saw last week to pick them as a loser. But Brighton is so good, man. But I went with the draw. So
Okay.
I almost went with what you went with, but I stuck with draw.
All right, how about this one? Tottenham is at home against United. This one is also tough. What'd you do?
Yeah. So yeah, this one's really tough. I think this is where I started to let the head go and started to go with the heart some more. I would just love to see a Tottenham win here at home. So I went 2-1 Tottenham. I think they're capable of doing it. I think it's much more likely it'll be an even game. 1-1, 2-2, something like that. But I would love to see that. So get some juices flowing early on, some Tottenham buzz.
Yeah, I went 1-1.
Okay.
I went safe.
All right, we flipped spots. I started going heart, you started going head. So
Yeah. I think this game could go a million different ways, though. I really
yeah.
do. I can't wait to watch that one, though.
Yeah, that one's
That's on Saturday.
what time is that at?
I
Is
think
these
it's an
times
early morning
specific?
one.
I can't tell if these are Pacific or not. Anyway, yeah, that would be fun, a fun one to watch if we can watch it live.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'm
great.
definitely. Well, I'll record it and watch the replay.
Cool.
Man City.
This is a great game.
Oh my God, this one was tough. At home against Newcastle. This is the game of the week for me. Out of all the
Yep.
matchups, if I had to pick one, this is the one I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
For the reasons we talked about with the Super Cup and no De Bruyne, no Gundogan, and a stout Newcastle defense, I'm picking a 1-1 draw.
Okay. I also went draw here. If you remember,
No
this
way.
this was one of the.
Stop copying me.
I went 2-2 though, not 1-1. This was the game last year, if you recall, where I think Newcastle went up 3-0 in the first half. That was when they played at Newcastle, not at Man City, but Newcastle went up 3-0 and Man City came back all the way and tied 3-3. But it was one of the most sort of exciting games of the season, I thought. So I'm hoping for a repeat of that. I'm hoping for back and forth, goals being scored. Like Man City is a team, obviously they're down with De Bruyne out and no Gundogan, but they're still a team that can find a way to actually break down Newcastle at times with the players they have. So of all the teams Newcastle would play, I see this being a game where they actually give up something like 2 goals. This is the team it's going to happen against. So, but I'm hoping for some high octane action.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for sure. Next up, Villa Park. They have Everton. This was the easiest 2-0 choice I could have made.
Damn, I gave a little bit of credit to Everton. I went 2-1.
You did?
Aston Villa. I did,
man,
yeah.
That's brave of you. That's brave. Sean Dyche,
It is
thank
brave
you.
to be.
But
I know. So though, literally, I think I was literally about to go 3-0 or something, or 2-0 like you did, and then that's literally the thought that made me stop. I was like, oh wait, Dyche is the coach. There's no way they're going to score 3 goals against him. So I immediately dropped it down to 2 goals for Aston Villa, and I was like, just the way he plays, they'll find a way to get a chance and score it. So then I ticked it up. So that was purely a Sean Dice play with this pick.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, and it's questionable if Calvert-Lewin's even available for this one. So
Yeah, I don't know if he's back. So,
it may be tough for them to score.
but there's no way they go 2 games without scoring. I just feel like they got to get one in.
All right, London Derby time.
Oh yeah.
West Ham hosting Chelsea. What kind of West Ham are we going to see? This is your
I
squad.
think
You've been to their stadium.
I know. At home in the London Stadium, I think we see a good West Ham. Like, I think this is a game they show up for. I just think there's too much firepower on Chelsea. I see this being one of those games, right, where it's Chelsea scores, 15 minutes in, but West Ham's playing really well. They tie it up in the 40th minute, right? It's 1-1 going into the second half. And then all of a sudden, there's just like one West Ham fuck up at like the 78th minute. And Chelsea pounce, score, and they win 2-1. So I went 2-1. That. Hopefully that's exactly what happens, and I'm a genius. But we'll see when it actually comes to the game. But I think there's too many options and firepower with Chelsea that they're going to just eventually overrun what West Ham's got.
I went 2-0 win for Chelsea.
Okay.
No Reece
You
James
think
in this, but they were impressive. They struggled at the beginning against Liverpool. That first half hour was all Liverpool, and they could not figure out a way to stop them.
Then they figured it out.
But I don't think West Ham has the firepower that Liverpool does. And Liverpool was kind of playing a high press and whatnot, and I think they actually kind of got tired as the game went on. But I don't think West Ham's going to pose those problems for Chelsea. So I think it's going to be difficult for West Ham to score. And
yeah,
they have some firepower coming in. It'll be interesting to see if the new guys will play at all.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse or whoever. Yeah.
Well, and on the other side, is Caicedo going to play?
Oh yeah, good point.
I
don't know. Yeah, has he even been officially unveiled? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Well, Reece James is out, so I'm interested to see what Pochettino does. I talked to you about that weird formation they played last time. Are they going to do that one again? Are they going to switch it up? I'm captivated by Chelsea this season so far.
Yeah.
So
another game that's going to be awesome to watch. Yeah. I want to watch all these games.
And I don't have it in front of me, but they were talking about it on the telecast for Chelsea's first match against Liverpool. They have a very easy schedule after this. So
okay,
if they do well in this one, I think it's safe to say they're going to be top of the table for a little bit at the beginning of the season. So
okay, could be good momentum for them.
And then closing out the week, the Monday nighter, Crystal Palace newly signed Olise hosting Arsenal. This is going to be a battle. I wanted to pick Crystal Palace so badly, but I just couldn't.
You would.
Couldn't bring myself to do it. If Zaha was on the team, I would have picked them. I'll just say that.
Wow, really?
But Olise and Eze aren't enough. If they had Zaha, it would be enough. But Arsenal 2-1 for me.
Damn. All right. I get it. I went 3-0 Arsenal. I think Arsenal's got way too much firepower. Without Zaha there, they just don't have nearly enough. So
you're right.
I think it's going to be a blowout.
You're right. I have a weird like.
You have the same thing I have for. You have the same thing I have for West Ham, right?
No, but
we both have those teams.
You have a reason for it. You've been to their stadium.
Okay.
You've watched a home match. I have no connection with Crystal Palace whatsoever. But yet I always seem to just be like drawn in by their scent, and it just like attracts me.
You have the most important thing, and that is you like their jerseys. So that above all else matters the most.
It wasn't my favorite jersey, but I do like their jerseys this year. Yeah.
True.
But it was kind of like a Zaha thing, and then it became kind of a Crystal Palace thing. I don't know. I can't explain it. But
yeah. All right. Well, awesome slate of games for the second weekend. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, trivia.
Yeah.
You got any for me? Because I am not prepared with any trivia for you.
Yeah, I have one for you. Just a second, let me pull it up. So I was able to get hold of a list of a vote that was done between fans of all 20 Premier League teams, and basically the questions that were asked were, how satisfied are they with how the club is being run? So, not expectations for this year, right? Or like how you felt about last year. It's just, do you think the club is being run well? So my first question for you, pretty obvious where I'm going to go here, but I'm going to try to have you guess who you think is the fan base that's most upset with how their team is being run. And to tell you, looking at the stats, there is no debate. Last place has an 8% approval rating. Second to last is 48%. 40% better than last place. So who do you think is holding last place right now?
If I get this wrong, I'll be shocked. Absolutely shocked. I think this is the easiest question you've ever asked me. It has to be Everton.
Yep. Okay. You
Okay,
got it.
good. Good.
Let's go.
All right, 8%. That 8% of
8%
people
approval.
are just those kind of people that you probably want in your friend group that are just look on the bright side of everything, just super positive, or they don't actually watch or care about the club at all.
Yeah, or it's like the mom that's been watching since she was a kid, but like doesn't actually care about the players. She just likes the team and is always going to support the team,
Yeah, or
And
maybe like a relative of the owner or something.
yeah, some bullshit. Okay, let's see if you can pull out the second worst here. So I already told you the percentage, 48%. It's the only other team that's under 50% in terms of approval rating.
I didn't even.
It's close to 50, but it's under.
Wait, it's 8% to 50? Oh my god. I didn't even
40. It's 40. It's 40. Everton was 8%. Second worst is 48%.
Oh my god.
Approval.
I didn't even consider a second option because I didn't even. It was Everton and only Everton.
Well, Everton's the worst, yeah, but second worst.
Let's see. I would say, before Ten Hag, I would have said Manchester United, but now,
yeah, but now they're probably feeling optimism.
Yeah, exactly. He's turned it around a little bit. I'm gonna go with. It's tough to say. I would say
this is a top half team. I'll tell you
it's
that.
got to be. It's got to be a team with expectations.
Yeah,
but it can't be Liverpool. It can't be Man City. Can't be United. It could be Chelsea, but I feel like they're pretty exciting this season. So I'm kind of scratching them off the list. Aston Villa, you got to kind of scratch them off the list as well. Newcastle,
yeah, they're up
looking
there.
Good. So West Ham. That would be my guess.
No.
West Ham's
at 73% approval.
Wow.
It is Chelsea.
It's Chelsea. Okay.
So I have a feeling they were really low. I bet they were at like 25% if you were to ask last year, right?
I wonder if
so I bet there was
right
a big
now,
jump.
Though.
I bet there was a big jump. Yeah, maybe right now it might be a different story, but this pool was probably like right before the season started.
After that January transfer window and then the remaining of that season, I would have. Yeah, that's probably where it plummeted.
So the next teams up, or two teams you also mentioned, so in that third to bottom, but they're up over 50%. Tied for 58% is both Man United and Tottenham. So two teams that you mentioned with expectations, right, and underperforming. Okay, at the top end, there is, let me just make sure here. Yes, there is two teams at 99% approval. Can you name one of those two teams?
Man City?
No, Man City's at 98.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Brighton?
Brighton is one. Yep. I'll drink.
And I'm going to say Newcastle.
Newcastle's at 96. It's actually Luton Town, having been promoted to the Premier League.
I didn't even think about them. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we're the
That would
Premier
jump
League,
off.
dude. I'm all in. Let's go. They did a
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah. So, okay, that's it for the questions, but just to read you off a few of the other ones. So, those were the two at 99. At 98, we have a few teams. We have Brentford at 98. We have Burnley also having been promoted at 98, and Man City that you already mentioned. And then at 97, we have Arsenal. And then at 96, we have Fulham, Newcastle, and Liverpool. And at 95, we have Nottingham Forest. So kind of the usual suspects that I think you would expect after the seasons last year.
It's
But
amazing how
just
much
the
of a
gap
drop off.
between
Yeah, that is
Everton and every other team is just absolutely
one of
hilarious.
these things is not like the other.
Yeah, that's
That's
great.
crazy. Oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah, do you have any trivia? Yeah, you said you didn't have any
I got
trivia, so
nothing.
I
I
had a
got
few
nothing
quotes
prep
for
for
you.
you. Sorry, it's all you.
I have a few quotes for you if you wanna.
Yeah, hit me with it.
I'll hit that. Yeah, so a couple things since the weekend that came out. Let's see here. Did I screenshot? Oh, there I did. Okay, so first quote is coming out of La Liga. So this was the Mallorca coach, and this I think is fitting after the conversation we had earlier about just the struggles of La Liga. Um, so I guess maybe La Liga signed a TV deal or something where they're either allowing cameras in the dressing rooms or they're talking about doing it. So this coach after the game was like, cameras inside the dressing rooms during matches, not everything should be about money. In the past, La Liga was competing with the Premier League. Now it seems that the best we can do is compete with Gerard Piqué's Kings League, which is this bullshit 3-on-3 league in Spain. Just
Oh
calling out the whole La
man.
Liga, being in the La Liga too, which is hilarious. Like straight out of one of the coaches' mouths. Uh, it's bad, man.
La
La Liga's
Liga's
not in
been
good
been
shape.
going down the drain for a few years now. And even like
Yeah. Everyone knows it and sees it too. That's the part. It's not like everyone there is like just has illusions of grandeur, like the players and stuff. I feel like the players are saying it, the coach, it's like it's just the league itself. Like whoever runs the league, that like executive group, they're just blind and they don't know what they're doing.
it's a bummer. It would be, I don't know. Let me ask you, I'm kind of sidebarring your quotes here. Would you prefer to have the Premier League being unequivocally the top league in the world, essentially the Super League, and then all the other leagues with it? Or would you like a more balanced set of European leagues with the La
Oh yeah.
Liga, Italian League, German League, maybe even French League mixing in a little bit with some good players? Or do you want to see them all in one place?
I mean, when was soccer best? It was when these leagues were all good in their own right, Like that's what's special about soccer, different than any other sport, any American sport. It's like there's one league that's the best and that's how America is. And that's the beauty of European soccer is there's never been a clear one. I mean, maybe there has been in recent years, but there's always hope you could hold out that one day, no, this league could be better. This league could compete. This league could actually beat out this league. So
Yeah,
I love that. It's a great part of soccer, and I don't want to see that go away. I would much rather it be split evenly and divided.
more parity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it would. I like seeing high quality matchups
Yeah.
where there's just the best of the best on the field. But I feel
Hmm.
like it gets kind of out of hand with the rich teams, the Real Madrids, the Man Cities, the Uniteds, the Chelseas, when they have world class talent on the bench that just doesn't play. And it's like
I get it. Yeah.
you could be
Put that guy.
dominating it
Yeah.
like for Roma right now, like, and you're not there. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I
that's
get
where I think it could be improved.
it sucks. Yeah. No, there is talent there that isn't equally distributed, and so it sucks for those players. I feel like they want to be a part of those super teams, right?
Yeah,
But there's also a part of them that's like, I want to play. So they're stuck in this conundrum, and then it makes it worse for the fan. I feel like,
Yeah.
you want to see more exciting soccer, more games with the top talent in different countries, different, fan bases. What if we're a fan of the Premier League and we watch the Premier League, right? So all it's really done has been a benefit to us. But what if you are a fan of, I don't know, La Liga, right? Or
But we
Serie A
used
or
to
something,
watch a
right?
lot of Serie A. We used to watch
Yeah.
a ton of it, and
Hmm.
there's less
It's hard to watch now.
there's less
Yeah.
quality in it
You'll
now.
watch certain matchups, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll watch you know Milan Derby,
Yeah.
Juve. I'll watch the top teams, but I'm not gonna watch Fiorentina and Genova.
And Lecce. Yeah.
Like
You know,
it's not gonna happen. And
I get it.
I wanna have a few beers with Calvin Phillips and be like, hey man,
Yeah. He's the pinnacle of this.
so if you were to go back in time, would you do it all over again, or would you stay at West Ham or some other team and play every day? You
Yeah.
know, I wonder, like, if he's even honest with himself about it.
I know. I feel like he would be blatantly honest and say, hell no, I wouldn't. I'm getting paid so much money.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna
So,
get paid. I don't know.
yeah.
I have a different viewpoint.
It's tough. I know. But yeah, I mean, we could probably debate this for its whole own episode, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you have a very famous league that's just going downhill and you're watching it happen live,
Yeah,
turning into a dumpster fire.
yeah.
All right. The other quote I had for you, second quote here. So this was a quote from Chesney, who I guess got a lot of attention when all of these Saudi deals were going down. They're like, oh, he's probably the next goalie to go from Juventus. And his one quote when asked was, he said, I already have a lot of money, and then walked away.
Exactly. That's exactly. Thank you. We love Chesney on this show.
Yeah.
We love
Yep.
Chesney. He's always
I
funny,
was
dude.
like, that's a great response.
That's my point. It's like, how much money is enough? Oh,
Hmm.
I can make 1.5 more at this club than this club. But it's like, dude, you're still making two hundred
Yeah.
thousand dollars a
It's
week.
it's different. It's different when you're like you and me, and you're at a job, and it's like, oh, I could go make 10% more over here, where
Is
ten
it
percent
though?
is, well, no, but I'm saying it's like 10 or 20% more for somebody like us is different than 10 or 20% more for somebody that's already making $100 million or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you're already a millionaire. It's not like that's going to give you that much more change in lifestyle or anything, right? It's just more of the same.
You would
Where
think.
that could make a difference for somebody that has a lower income. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love the response, though. I think it's the perfect way to shut the reporters up.
Chesney, you're the man, dude. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
All right. Any more quotes, or are you ready to bet?
No, that's it. That was it for quotes. So we can get into betting.
Let's bet, baby. All right. So we're gonna go through each matchup. Correct me if I'm wrong here, and we're
Hmm.
gonna select what we think is the best bet for this, or you want to select a best
No,
three?
no. I think what we should do is we can quickly go through each game again if you want. I wasn't looking to make a bet for each game. I think that's a lot of bets to go through.
It
But
is.
I was hoping we could pick out two, three, or four bets that we like, from these different games. Potentially some parlays too across multiple games if that interests you. First sort of betting episode of the year, right? We haven't done this yet. We hadn't really talked about it, so we got to feel things out. You had already mentioned last time that you had some good ideas about what would be smart bets coming into this year. So I think we could work that in as well. We did have some notes before we start off of what we thought was good strategies from our experience last year. So just to brush up on those. So one thing is we wanted to try to avoid multiple parlays with the same outcome, right? So picking the same team twice in two different parlays. If we're going to do an underdog parlay, trying to limit it to only two teams, not do three or four. If we're going to do favorite parlays, to do at least three, because that'll get the odds into a range that we think is good. And the last note that we took out of last year is that we thought at the end of the season that over unders were actually a little bit easier to pick than trying to pick winners, right? Obviously ties can be a big thorn in the side, but over unders they're typically either you get your money back, you lose or you win. So it's kind of a positive to neutral outcome potentially more often than not. So we can definitely keep that in mind this year as well.
And to piggyback off that, so my theory this season is, especially early on in this season, they made the change to where the stoppage time is now true stoppage time. They include it all the way up to however long it's been. So we're seeing a lot longer matches. We're seeing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
8+ minutes, 9+ minutes. Even at halftime, there's large stoppage time. So with this increase in minutes, you would think there's an increased opportunity to score goals. So I'm looking at the over-unders here, and they seem basically the same as they were last year. So there may be opportunity there. It's just a theory that
Mm-hmm.
we should look for over opportunities with this increased amount of play. So
Yeah. Okay.
a few that I took a glance at that I like for over-unders, Nottingham Forest and Sheffield is relatively low. Fulham Brentford
Mm-hmm.
is 2.5. Brentford just played a 2-2 match with Tottenham. They didn't really look stout defensively. Fulham can
Yeah.
score the ball. I think that's a good target. Teams that I stay away from in this, Newcastle, even though they're going against Man City, like they have a really strong defense. Chelsea, I actually kind of want to stay away from them as well. But
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, Crystal Palace, 2.5. That could easily go over to me. So Villa Everton, I just don't believe Everton's going to score. So you got to think that Villa is going to get 3 to win your bet there. I'm not as encouraged for that one, but
Mm-hmm.
those are kind of the few that I like for the over unders.
Those first three you mentioned, so Fulham, Brentford, Nottingham, Sheffield, and Crystal Palace, Arsenal, I agree entirely. Seeing those lines, even the Nottingham lines, not only at 2.5, it's actually 2.25. So if you get 2 goals, you're getting half your money back right there. So that to me is the immediate no-brainer. Is
Yeah.
the over on the Nottingham, Sheffield. The other ones very easily could go to 3 goals. So I like those ones as well. I didn't take a look at any sort of winners or underdogs. So those ones in particular, I don't have too much to say. But if I just take a look now, I'm confident in Liverpool. I'm confident in Aston Villa, even after the beatdown last week going against Everton.
So in
Those
my
are the two.
picks,
I would do a favorite parlay with those two if you wanted.
oh, with which two? What was the final? I forgot
Liverpool,
the first one.
Liverpool and Aston Villa.
Liverpool and Aston Villa. I like Aston Villa's got to be a guarantee. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then Liverpool, yeah, that seems like a safe one. But Liverpool is minus 420, so you're not getting the best odds in there. But
Yeah, let
I
me
think that, like,
let me
how do
pick
you
that one
lose
out
that
right
one?
now.
How do you lose that bet? For more of an
That
underdog parlay.
that'll get you to even money though. Those
Oh, it
two
does.
those two
Okay.
picks is even money. Yeah, plus 109.
Yeah, sign me up for that one. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
As more of an underdog parlay, I like the odds you're getting for a draw with Newcastle and Manchester City. I know it's hard to bet against Manchester City at home,
Hmm.
but to get plus 310 for a draw, I I think it's possible. I think it's possible. So
Yeah, this is
I
a team that can do it, right? If you're
yeah,
going to bet on a team to do it, this is the type of team.
exactly. So I like that bet straight up. Not a lot of money on it. You could make some money on that, but I'm not super confident
Yeah.
with it. And then if I was to choose an underdog parlay for 2 winners, I think I would go Fulham at home. You're getting plus 155, and then I
Yeah,
like
they're not an underdog though, but they are plus money.
yeah, but I would combine that with a Manchester United on the road plus 135. I kind of like that as well. I feel like
Okay. Yeah, let's see what that would be. That would
you're
be
at least
a
getting good odds. Like
you would get hold on here. Oops. Delete. So if we had Fulham at home, Man U on the road. Yeah, it'd be plus 500.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Good odds.
And if you like
Yeah.
West Ham at home on their home debut, plus 270 to beat Chelsea.
To beat Chelsea?
I mean, I'm not willing to go there, but
Yeah.
not bad odds for a home win against a Chelsea team where they're still figuring stuff out. Reece James isn't going to be
Yeah.
there. It's not out of the question that they win that game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like. Let's see, 2.25. So I like all three of those non over under bets. So I like putting a small amount on the Fulham Man U at plus 500. You could
Yeah.
put $10 on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Newcastle Man City draw, another one. You can put a small amount at plus 310. I like putting a steeper amount on the Liverpool Aston Villa to win, and then definitely on the Nottingham Sheffield. I'd be comfortable, and then maybe a little bit on the other two overs that you called out. So we could do kind of an array of small bets, and then one big one on those, or a couple big ones, I think, on the over under and the favorite parlay.
Yeah, we can see how we do. I like more than others, but like you said,
Yeah,
a small amount of money on those underdog ones.
exactly. Yeah. All right.
Good.
So last part of the show, first time of the season for this new season is picking our prop bets. So just to go over the rules again, Austin and myself will go through every game of the weekend. We'll look at the betting lines, the favorite, the underdog. If there's any team that is a underdog by greater than 100 points versus the favorite, then they're allowed to be selected for a prop bet. And what the prop bet is we're picking that team to either draw or win. And if we're successful, then next episode, we're going to be making the other guy drink, unless they also win their prop bet. So the options this time as we go through the teams, we have Sheffield on the road at Nottingham counts. We have Bournemouth at Liverpool. We have Wolves hosting Brighton is an option. We have Newcastle at Man City. We have Everton at Aston Villa. West Ham at home against Chelsea. And Crystal Palace at home against Arsenal. So quite a few to choose from this week.
I'll let you go first. You can start the season off.
Oh, man, the pressure.
Give you first pick.
I'm going to go... let's see. Give me that West Ham Chelsea. I think.
Really? I didn't think you were going to go there. So I thought there were two selections. There were two selections. That was one of them for me.
Well, I think the Man City Newcastle is like an obvious one, but I kind of wanted to go out of the box here a little bit. So
I don't think. Well, my two were that West Ham one, which I thought I was going to end up going with. I think Wolves at home is against Brighton. I think that's the other one. So I'm going to take Wolves.
Opportunity to draw there. Yeah, okay, so Wolves. All right, so I'm going West Ham with Chelsea. West Ham. Chelsea. Austin's got Wolves. The Brighton. All right.
And I'll get
first prop
bets
in the week.
I can't believe you took mine. I thought for sure I was going to get West Ham.
You're like, I'm going to sneak this one by.
Oh, man. I like the pick. I think it's a good shot.
I like it, too.
All right, cool. Yeah, when we...
All right.
If anyone's still listening, we have a trip planned to go see some matches in February. We're going to go to London. We're going to catch as many matches as we possibly can. And we'll actually be able to bet on them because here in California, where we live, it is illegal to bet as of now. So we either do it illegally or have to go to Vegas. Because our friend who had an account got shut down because his IP got picked up in California. So,
damn it.
I know, and I still have over $100 of winnings in that account.
Sitting in there?
I don't think I'll ever get back. So,
oh, shit.
Sad days, but hopefully someday we'll be able to gamble. But come February, man, I'm saving up now because I'm going to be laying a lot of money on that week.
That's going to be a fun week, man. I'm looking forward to it already.
Oh, I can't wait. All right, dude. Well,
All
enjoy
right.
the games this weekend, and
Yeah.
we'll catch up Monday or Tuesday.
Sounds good, man. I'll see you next week.
All right, peace.
Cheers.